apparently they've been demonstrating here for democracy for months now against Netanyahu and his government. I'm not sure all the details of what the argument is about because obviously I'm not from Israel, but I'm going to find out. I'm going to investigate this, see if we can talk to somebody, a demonstrator, people involved. I'd like to find out what's going on. All right, guys, these ladies here are going to tell me about the political struggles and I guess demonstrations going on here in Israel. Is this all related to what we've been seeing in the news as far as the big demonstrations? Okay, they're gonna explain it to us because I try to pay a little attention to American politics right now, but they'll tell me what's going on. So who wants to talk?
So we've been marching and demonstrating since January. The government, the current government, has started to pass laws that are absolutely threatening our democracy, our Israeli democracy. Israel, that has always been considered the strongest democracy in the Middle East and the strongest ally of the USA, has a very fragile democracy. And in fact, our system doesn't have checks and balances like the American system. We have no constitution and no Bill of Rights. A lot of people are not aware of that. What's happening now is a threat to our judiciary system, the Supreme Court and the other courts. And it's called a reform by the Netanyahu government. It's actually an overhaul or a kind of coup d'etat, because if he succeeds in weakening the Supreme Court, that's the only check and balance we have right now. The Supreme Court of Israel is the gatekeeper of democracy here. The parliament depends, we don't have a bicameral Congress like in the USA with Republicans and Democrats and Senate and the House and the checks and balances. As I say, there's one parliament with 120 members. Whoever has 61 votes at any given time has a majority, and that's who can make the laws. So if we have no Supreme Court to overturn or to question laws that we believe are undemocratic, we are in grave danger.
Okay.
And the laws being proposed right now threaten our minorities.
Okay, so right now, the only thing that can overturn laws that the government want to put into action is the Supreme Court. If they weaken them, and the government can just make any rules or regulations or laws they want to.
That's correct.
Based on, now would it just be the prime minister or would the whole parliament, like what type of vote do they have to pass a law here in Israel?
Prime minister leads a coalition. The coalition right now is made up of 31 members of his party, the Likud party, and the rest are members of very small ultra-nationalist extremist parties, because the large parties did not want to join with him in a coalition. And this is exactly what's threatening us. Those parties are threatening religious coercion. And we are all Israelis. We're not visitors. We're Jewish.
You
we're
sound
Israelis.
a little bit Canadian, but I don't know.
I was born in Connecticut, not
Connecticut.
Canada.
Close enough.
Bridgeport,
I'm from
Connecticut.
Detroit. So.
Detroit is
Where are you from originally?
I'm from Israel, but my mom's American.
American?
I visited often and Providence.
Oh, Providence, Rhode
I
Island?
think that the biggest thing, that the reason that I came here today was because I feel that the people in America, the Jewish people in America who really support Israel, with lots of donations, they just, and it's so important to stand up for Israel. I think that they don't realize how, if Israel won't be a democracy, there won't be any Israel to support. We cannot have security if America won't allow to support our security.
Okay.
We won't be able to have.
So let me ask you guys a question. What do you guys fear if this happens? Like, what type of laws do you feel will be enacted? You know, say the government has full run, you know, with no checks and balances. What do you feel? What are they going to do?
There are 150 laws, 150 new laws that have been proposed. since
That
January
and
by
are
the new
all
government.
Literally illegal, but they will be legal. If they
Like, give me some examples,
Okay,
like specifically.
3 of them would weaken the judiciary, so that, which is, by the way, our prime minister has been indicted 5 years ago. He was indicted on
Right.
3 counts of corruption, breach of trust, and fraud. And if these laws are passed, the Supreme Court would not be able to enforce or go further with the court cases. So that would protect him.
Right.
Other laws are weakening our public education system in favor of the religious education system.
They
Okay.
also want to they have a law where they want to make it legal to, how do you say it?
Discrimination.
To discriminate people regarding if they're, let's say, if somebody comes into my store and I don't like the religion, so I can say, oh, it's against my religion to give you service, so I won't. So you can't, gay people can't go to my hotel, or a Muslim can't buy at my supermarket, and it'll be legal. They're trying to make that legal.
Okay. Anything else big? Anything else big? No, I'm just saying like high points, like big ones, big ones. Women's rights?
Women's rights, the fact that they want to have segregation between women and men. Because in the Orthodox religion, it's common.
Yeah.
So they want it to be common everywhere. They want it to be that I'll sit in the back of the bus and men will sit in the front of the bus. If I go to the beach, I won't be able to go with my son because it has to be segregated.
Almost like a hybrid Iran.
It is, and that's what I'm terrified
I think
for.
of it as a Jewish Taliban.
Yeah, I understand
Religious
that.
coercion.
Now, I was in New York yesterday. I just came from New York. And I went and visited in Crown Heights, a very Orthodox thing. They still have, obviously the women are in one area praying,
Separated.
and the men. This was very Orthodox.
But that's their right
how they
to do it.
Yeah.
I don't specifically agree with their way of life,
Yeah.
but that's their right to do it. But what I'm afraid of is that they're trying to, they do not like the judicial system in Israel because they are for human rights. And when they say women are allowed to be segregated and the judicial system says, I'm sorry, you can't have a university where we work only for men.
Right. They're trying to turn the clock back. Like you said, Taliban is really Taliban almost. Yeah, that's not
There's
right.
a worldwide movement toward fascism and fundamentalism in many countries, Hungary, Poland, of course, some of the Middle Eastern countries. And what we are trying with all our might, we leave our families, we leave our homes, we take time off our jobs, we all work, and we are fighting to keep that from happening here.
Yeah,
I think
I completely
it's
understand.
terrifying because, in many ways, I theoretically can leave. I can go to the States, I can live there. But this is where I want to live. Why let Israel become a place not only where it's corrupt, where there's no democracy, where it's all run by extreme religious, but why also let such a gem of place where it's the whole peace process of actually allowing all different religions to be in Israel. It's a center of the religion, of the 3 big religions.
Okay.
It should be kept that way. I think it's a worldwide problem.
I understand where you guys are coming from. I'm gonna have to look into it. I'll look into it a little bit myself because I don't know. You have a flyer?
Take these, please?
Yeah. I'll
Could
take
you
a look.
share your details so we know where the YouTube
Oh yeah,
will
I'll give you my
post it?
YouTube channel.
Thank you so much for coming.
Okay, nice explaining your guys' point of view because I really, we hear about the protests and everything here.
Yeah.
But we didn't have too many details of it. I got enough issues. I'm from America and I live in Thailand now, and there's many. Right now they're trying to have a government reform going the opposite way, going from the military junta to more of a democratic state there. It's the opposite of what's kind of going on
Your
here.
YouTube channel.
I'm going to give it to you. Okay, thank you.
הרס כלכלי שהדרך לצאת ממנו איננה נראית באופק ובוודאי מחייבת אותנו
Alright, I wonder if this is the end. I need to find some food. So that was my first day in Israel. I had just arrived, and what a wild scene. I was not expecting that. I had heard about those protests, but I didn't know that they were still going on, and I was pretty shocked. One thing I was pretty shocked about was I only saw that one anti-protester, the guy in the brown shirt that I indicated on the camera there. But let me tell you, so after they got done arguing, I wanted to know what was going on, and I wanted to know the alternative story going on here. So I talked to that guy. I approached him and spoke with him. He spoke a little English. It was okay, but he did not feel comfortable going on camera. He said his English wasn't good enough. But what he told me, and what those ladies didn't tell me, was that this protest is very like pro-Palestine, to have a Palestinian state, to be recognized as its own country, be divided from Israel. And many Israelis are against that. And they feel that, especially, people that have served in the military and seen, what goes on with the bombings and the fighting and everything. And they feel that if the control is just all given away to the Palestinians, to Hamas and everything, that it's going to give Israel less control over being bombed and different things happening, different violence in the city. So they want to maintain this control. And so going into it, when I talked to those ladies, I was just, I got their side of the story for, the women's rights and, not wanting to be thrown back into like a century ago where women don't have equal rights and have to be divided and can't ride on the same bus or be on the same beach. And it's still kind of like that in the Orthodox, in that community. When I went to that synagogue in New York, the men and women are separated. They're on opposite sides. When you go in Israel to the Wailing Wall, which is a very, very religious site, I think I'll have that in another video, but the women are on one side and the men are on a different, like they're divided. When I was there, I didn't see any women. They were all on a different side. This is at the wall where people are praying at the Western Wall, the Wailing Wall. It's a very holy site in Jerusalem. Anyways, it sounds like the Netanyahu part of the government, really wants to reestablish that or establish that, because it's never kind of been the case in Israel. They want to make it more of an Orthodox, religious, type of government, type of state. But, these women feel it to be like the Taliban, where the women are second-class citizens. So I understand their point of view. I wish they would have talked to me a little bit more about the pro and cons of the Palestinian state. And I tried to talk to some people. I figured I'd have better luck in Jerusalem to talk to some conservative people. But I approached a few people and nobody really wanted to go on camera, so I didn't get that side of the story. But that's the gist of it. Anyways, I thought it was interesting, and I was totally caught off guard when I got there and saw all this going on. But I figured I'd document it. I'm there. What the hell? Tell me, do you have a side? Like, is there more I don't know about it? I don't know much. I try not to follow politics in America, but I will say, that compared to the demonstrations in America, why can't they be peaceful like that? People just marching, having a nice time, trying to, get their point across. Very nonviolent. I didn't see any incidents besides that little argument. That's it. Give me your opinion. Let me know what you think. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. I'll have 3 or 4 more Israel videos at least, starting that series right now. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Greeny out.